So a week ago, my mom had a massive heart attack and she died. Nobody saw this coming. There was nothing to indicate that this might happen. And processing all of this over the last few days has been something that I've never gone through before. And it's something that I know everybody has to deal with at some point. It's just not something I was exactly prepared for. Because my parents were down at our house just the week before last. I was lucky because I had my whole studio set up to do just a talking head piece, and I just said, "Hey Mom, why don't you come sit down? I'll just ask you a couple questions." So, hi, who are you?
I'm Brian's mom.
What's your name?
Judy.
It's nice to meet you, Judy.
Nice to meet you too.
It's only like a minute long, but it'll always be pretty special because it was literally taken 5 days before she died. And I actually just now watched that for the first time since she died, and it was shocking just to see and hear my mom speaking again, which, we've gone many weeks in the past without talking, but never a week where I knew that I would never get to talk to her again.
I met you actually a long time ago.
Yeah? How long ago?
Good Lord. How old are you? Are you 45?
I'm 45.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'll be 46 in July?
Yep. I'm not expecting this video here to be a eulogy necessarily, but I'm just talking. I don't know. This is all part of my processing, I guess. My mom was an incredibly special person. Certainly pretty important in my life. But just, she raised my sister and me as a full-time job for 18 years each, and certainly put in a lot of overtime continuing to raise us after we'd gone to college too. The love that she had for us and for my dad and for everyone that she ever met, really, it just poured out of her. She always made everybody feel welcome and included, and was, she was the person who could talk to anybody, and who anybody and everybody seemed to like to talk to her. I'd always heard that when, as an adult, you have a parent die, it changes you. And I always kind of thought that was probably a little exaggeration. It's like, how much could it really change you? I'm an adult already. But it does. It's like all my life I've had this thing over me called parents, and I still have my dad, luckily, but having my mom not be there now, there's definitely a hole in that ceiling, if you will, or that shelter. And she was definitely always one to put everybody else, especially her kids, my sister and me, above everything else. So that's been, since this has happened, I feel that change, if you will. The good news is, when she passed, it was very, very quick, and the doctors all assumed, just based on the timeline of things, that she wasn't even aware of anything, which is is good. That definitely comforts us, and she deserved to be happy right up until the end. We've talked about things a lot over this past week, and of course, we are very sad. I mean, she's, I know, in heaven, and she's now everywhere, looking down and just being around all of us in everything. It just got windy, which I think is wonderful. She was obviously taken too soon, because any time is too soon, but for her, it's like her life was so full and so full of love and caring, and what she brought to everybody was just, it made her life even more full. And for that, you can't really have lived a better life than what she did. And I think everybody should strive to live the fullest life that they personally can, whatever that means. And I know that she lived hers to the fullest that she possibly could have. And that makes me really happy for her, and certainly for myself to be the recipient of all of that happiness.
How can I have a kid that old?
I don't know. It seems kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What? So are you?
My baby's almost 40.
Yeah, I know she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely hard. It's hard to see that video and know that I won't ever get to hear my mom's voice again. I mean, not live, not from her. And that's definitely challenging. It's hardest for my dad. 53 years next month they would have been married for. I can't fathom that. I've been married 13 and a half years, and that's basically 4 times as long. And I just, if anything happened to Heather, my God, I would be just absolutely devastated. My dad hasn't known anything else for 4 times as long. So we're really trying to be there for him and to comfort him. And it's just, it's a process. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to process right now. And something that I keep telling myself and my kids and my dad is that whatever they are feeling in this moment is perfectly fine. They might be angry, they might be sad, they might be scared, they might be confused, they might be happy in a moment, they might be laughing. Whatever it is perfectly fine. We have all these shoulds in our head about what you should do and this and that, and certainly my kids have been asking me about that. And for all of us, when you lose somebody, whatever you feel is fine. And it changes, and that's fine. That's expected. That is processing. Are you having a good time down here?
Oh, yes. It's exhausting, though. All these decisions and,
What are you doing to have to make all these decisions?
We're building a house down here.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lovely home.
I am who I am in large part because of my mom. And that makes me really happy, because it means that a big part of her gets to live on through me. But I really do. I owe so much to her and my dad, but especially to her. And I think she knew that I knew that. I think that I told her. You can never tell your mom enough thank you or that you love her. But I think she knew. I'm really happy that I was able to give her a Mother's Day card just less than a week ago, or less than a week before she died anyway. It's just so sudden. It's just, and for my girls too, to lose Grammy. Funny thing, one of them had said shortly after, she was trying to process all of this, and somehow the conversation between Heather and one of my daughters came up, and they both said, Papa's gonna be the one to have to buy presents now. And they were like, ah! But again, this is just processing. I love you, Mom. I know you can see this. I know you're here and you're around. And, you know, Mom, if you happen to see this on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, click the little bell. My mom was an amazing person. The love that she had for me and for my sister and for my kids and for my wife. She loves Heather so, so much. She knew that I should marry Heather long before I knew. And that's just because I was stupid. I should have seen it long before also. But things happen in their own time. But anyway, we don't have to get into that. But my mom knew. And she was right. But honestly, I've felt her. I've felt her presence around and in various places. And I really, really have. Like, felt her in a way that I had never before, ever since I found out that she had died. And that's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's I'm so thankful for that. My dad is still gonna move down to our town, still gonna build that house that they were planning on building. And we're all happy about that. We're all happy to have family coming together still. But it will definitely be different than what we had planned. And we'll make it good. I mean, we'll make it a good, happy different, because that's all we can do. And Mom will still be there. She will definitely be around. But I will miss her voice and her hugs. Ah. The hugs. And her love. Just her. But I know that her love is still there. If you're watching this and you've made it this far, please go and hug your mom, call her, hug your dad, call him. Things really can change in life in an instant. Your spouse, your kids, your friends, go hug your friends, tell them that you love them. I mean, if you do. Don't say I love you if you don't really love them. That's not very cool. But whoever you really care about, just go and tell them that real fast. You'll never be sorry that you did, and I guarantee it will make their day. Thank you for everything, Mom. I love you.